Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RAMP, Real Access Motivates Progress, live Wednesday night podcast. I love spending my Wednesday night hour with everybody out there in Rhode Island and across the country. And again, tonight we have a fabulous show with one of my favorite people from Rhode Island. Tonight we're talking about Rhode Island Veteran Services with none other than the director, Kaz Mignon. Welcome, Kazim. How are you tonight?
I am doing well. Happy holidays, folks, for all your listeners. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. And I'm so glad that you took the time out during this holiday season to spend a little bit of time and telling everybody what is going on with Rhode Island. So, for those who live under a rock in Rhode Island, please tell everybody who you are and what you do.
So my name is Kasim Yorn. I'm the Director of Veteran Services for the state of Rhode Island, cabinet level position, directly appointed by the governor to be the state's chief vet to intercede on behalf of all our veterans and military families.
And tell us a little bit about the office that you run.
So my office, we oversee the administration care of our veterans at the Veterans Home. We also be there for our family members as they transition into the afterlife, where we run our veteran cemetery, and which is a great team down there too. It's a state-ran facility, but it literally is at the level of a national cemetery like Arlington National Cemetery. It is just that quality of a product. We have our Veterans Home, like I said before, 5-star facility, take care of our services, and my office is headquartered in Warwick. You know, we chose Warwick 6 years ago now. We chose Warwick for a reason because of the location, easy accessibility, and our veterans gain access to services.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I was with you on Veterans Day at the Rhode Island Veterans Home, and what a beautiful facility. And they just opened their gardens up there, to keep the veterans working and moving. Tell everybody a little bit about the programs and what goes on up there.
So we have our activities department, but to which you return to our Rhode Island Master Gardeners Association, URI, they've done a phenomenal job. They did all private sector fundraising to bring a greenhouse to our veterans, giving them another source to do activities, to interact with for growing things, and I look at our Rhode Island Master Gardeners or URI. Master Gardeners are phenomenal in that space. So it took Mr. Toomey, a Vietnam veteran, Master Gardener from URI, took the initiative with a group of folks and said, hey, let's give back to those that serve by raising the needed funds and building this phenomenal greenhouse for years to come that our residents can utilize and gain some joy.
There is so much that we should be giving back and thanking our veterans every single day. They do phenomenal stuff, keeping us free and doing all of the work. I love spending some time up at the Veterans Home myself and visiting a lot of the vets. I visit often. But let's talk about some of the things that people can do to give back. Like, what are some of the things that Rhode Islanders can do to help the veterans here in Rhode Island?
Well, first and foremost, as we always say, thank a veteran for their service. The next thing, ask them the question, look the veteran and say, hey, do you have a copy of your DD-214? If not, say, hey, please reach out to my office and we'll assist you in getting that document. So the DD-214 is arguably the number one document in a veteran's life. It tells you your character of service. It tells you the time you served. It tells you how what areas if you served, what awards you've gained, what certifications you've obtained over the years. This is the one-page document, but it says a series of pages in that document. But that document is so important to a veteran's livelihood. So that's the key, is ask the veteran, do you have a copy of DD-14? The next critical question, are you enrolled in the VA healthcare system? We have, without a shadow of doubt, one of the top tier Providence VA medical centers, healthcare systems in the nation, residing here in Rhode Island. This is yet another reason why Rhode Island is so special, with the leadership of Director Connell and the guided hand from Director E.J. McQuaid, the benefits office, and my office, that forming a triad to get our veterans connected with services. So thank a veteran for their service. Ask the veteran, hey, do you have a copy of DD-214? And more importantly, are you enrolled in the VA healthcare system? Those are three things that you can do that any person come across a veteran can relatively ask and support.
That is phenomenal. Like I said, I've learned that from you, and I ask that often to the veterans that I run into on the street and everything like that. But this week is a very special week. We had the kickoff to Wreaths Across America at the State House on Monday, and the laying of the wreaths begins at noontime, I believe, at Exeter. Tell everybody a little bit about that program and how they can get involved.
So this was called Reach Across America. This was back in the 90s, that when a volunteer from Maine went down to the Arlington National Cemetery to lay wreaths and to thank those for our fallen heroes. Well, since then, page forward now to 2022, and it has spread across the nation. So this week, every year, volunteers get together and they lay wreaths across the various graves of America's heroes. We've also participated in the K through 12 programs. On Tuesday every year, we go to Pontiac High School to lead our leadership there, to set the right example. Because it really, when you go and visit Pontiac High School, it really is a community engagement. But it doesn't stop there. Look at the middle school level. Today we have Golf Middle School with those, our Rhode Island youth are so amazing. From the depictions that they did, the themes that they did, they want to honor. One of the things was honoring the women and in the war effort back in World War II, and how our nation rallied together. Even though we sent our men and women off to war, but we know the lion's share of that work were men, and the women here back in the States, they came, they continued the effort. They kept the machine going to help support the war effort. And I said, call too, look forward today when we have the most diverse forces in the history of America. We have more women in serving now in key positions. Our first Admiral Chatfield, Admiral of the War College, first female admiral in history of the War College. We're doing that in America, today's America. We have women leading submarines, submariners, fighter pilots, snipers, those serious issues that, those critical programs that are out there that now our women are leading. And that's a testament to who we are as a nation, but also to the resolve that we have to support all walks of life. And our biggest population, our growing population now, are our women veterans. And so as part of my job, and with that said, is, I'm a firm believer that an organization needs to reflect and depict the people who they serve. Hence why when I hired Jennifer Marquise Caruso to lead our women effort, to make sure that our women veterans have a voice in this state.
That is amazing. So is there anything going on like tomorrow before Saturday? Because I know Saturday is the big day.
So Saturday is the day. So we had we normally had another school that used to participate, but because of COVID-19 restrictions, what have you, it's very difficult in that regard too. But the culmination event is going to be this Saturday at noon in Exeter at our Memorial Cemetery there. Starts promptly at noon. The presentation lasts roughly about 50 minutes, but it is just an amazing time for you to come out and volunteer and lay a wreath at one of our gravesites by one of our veterans and America's heroes. And so please, if you have the time, your listeners, please come on down, say hello, join and participate in the ceremony, because it's an active ceremony. We have all ages. We have the family members there. We have our Gold Star families there providing us inspiration. We have leaders from the various veteran service organizations. We have the organizers from Wreaths Across America. They're going to be there as well, providing some remarks. So it really is it's a somber occasion, but it's also a celebration. But more importantly, it depicts the best we have in our nation. And I'm so proud of our volunteers to support for that. So those that want to get involved, Google Wreaths Across America. Make a donation if you can. If not, you make a donation by serving others, by serving those that serve, by participating in those various events that are across our state and staying active in that regard. Again, also thanking a veteran.
Yeah, I mean, what a beautiful ceremony it is. And it's just gathering together and showing everybody that they'll never be forgotten and that they are supported. But you mentioned Gold Star families. I just want you to break that down to people in case somebody doesn't know what a Gold Star family is.
So a Gold Star family member is a family member that's a surviving family member that they service through the character of the service of our service members. They got killed while serving the nation in action. That's a Gold Star family member. On the reverse side of it, a Blue Star family member is those that have a family that's currently serving. And so Wreaths Across America highlights the work that we're doing to honor our veterans, to remember our fall, and more importantly, teach our youth the importance of this time of year, the importance of service before self, the importance of honoring our service members that are deployed right now for this holiday season so we can be together.
And it's so important that we teach our youth how to respect our service, to teach them what the service is all about. How would you describe, or how would you ask somebody to help guide a youngin or a youngster about the service?
Well, I think continue doing what we're doing in at the K 212. I get asked all the time to go provide remarks to engage our youth. Coming up here in around MLK Day, I've been asked to go speak at Bishop Hendricken. I've done that for several years now, and it's quite enlightening for me. I think it's all of our civic duty to engage with our youth, to express the importance, and also give them support systems as well, because we know that the challenges that come out of COVID-19, the mental health aspects of things are very, very challenging for our youth. And so as adults, it's up to us, to our civic duty, as I said, to engage with our youth, to openly talk about things, to share our innermost thoughts, but more importantly, be a support system for each other as we all embark on life's journey. And there's something to be said about that as well.
Yeah. And as we support each other, we need to remember that there are many of our youth here in Rhode Island that has a parent or a loved one overseas or serving somewhere. How do we best support them? And how can somebody finding out that one of their parents are serving overseas, how do you suggest that we support them, or what are best actions that we could do?
Absolutely. Health and wellness checks go a long way. And I tell you, I remember myself when I was on my last deployment, when I wasn't home around this time, and my neighbors checked up on my wife for me. We had a snowstorm. They came by and helped plow and remove snow removal. And so it's a real community engagement. It's those actions and those deeds, those acts of kindness that goes a long way in the community. So again, like I said, thank you for the service, but also to engage, helping a veteran out too. We know we have with our Rhode Island National Guard, through the work of the Lieutenant Governor's Office with Operation Holiday Cheer, sending off care packages. So another way you can get involved too and get engaged is to reach out to the Lieutenant Governor's Office to see, hey, can you submit any, is there still time to send a care package off to one of our service members that are deployed downrange? Again, there's a plethora of opportunities to get engaged too. But again, it starts at home, just by your neighbor, next door neighbor, by thanking them for their service, lending a helping hand, doing a health and wellness check. Ask them, do they have a copy of DD 14? Ask them, are they enrolled in their VA healthcare system? Connect with my office if you have any concerns, or if something doesn't look right, one of our veterans that you checked up on in a while, and they're not very, very, very reactive. And then especially this time of year, we know it can be quite stressful in that regard too as well. So lose this as a support system, to act as a support system, to be that first responder in your community, to intercede with your neighbor. The governor talks about this all the time. Check on your neighbor periodically. We check on them and all the time too as well. And then because it's important, especially this time of year.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, while their loved one is overseas, make sure you're checking up on their family, their wives, their children, their husbands, because it's the wives that are overseas. So make sure you're checking up on their family. That's one of the most important things. But you touched on something that, striking home today is suicide, especially veteran suicide. And there's a new 988 number, but there's actually a better number for veterans. Can you talk a little bit about that and tell veterans how they can get the support that they need?
Oh, absolutely. So again, kudos to our congressional delegation as well for leading this effort in Congress in partnership with our nationwide call for action to address suicide. And our federal VA partners have been right locked in step at the leading that effort too as well. So 988 was making it easier for everyone to gain access to a phone call and press 1. So if you're veterans, you have a list of numbers, but 988 and press 1. If you're a veteran or military family, it's so critically important that you utilize that number if you need it as a resource to assist, because we know that to address this mental health, to move the needle, we got to have, getting help looks different for each of us. And so my job as a director, how I roll my pro is to, in addition to the 988 number, to have resources available to make sure that when a veteran walks through our door, someone is there to greet that veteran military family member. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. So in that regard, also to try to meet the veterans where they are. That's why so quickly when we partner with our federal VA partners at the benefits office to utilize our federal personnel to go meet veterans at our state resources. So we have federal employees that are actually meeting our veterans at the state level, utilizing state resources like the Veterans Home, our Exeter Cemetery, my offices here in Warwick, all those items are so critically important to expand the areas to where we can reach our veterans, and at the ease of our veterans to be able to talk to them to get assistance where they are in the community.
And it's so important. And just to reiterate, 988 is for everybody. Everybody can call 988 if you feel you need that extra support. But 988 and then press 1 is for specifically for veterans and for veteran services to help them, because sometimes with the PTSD and stuff that they have, it's more specialized to who they are. But anybody, if you're struggling or anything this time of year, please reach out to a friend or family. And if you don't have a friend or a family member, call 988, get the help that you need, or let us help you. And it's 9881 for veterans.
Right.
I cannot stress that enough.
Absolutely. You got some people that's willing to talk to strangers. And so if you can't find a friend or someone like that too, some people are more comfortable with talking to someone that they don't know. So that way they don't necessarily feel you're going to prejudge them or some of those lines too as well. And so that's something to be said about that also. But to your point, Tina, hey, reach out and get some assistance. Just take that first step and we'll help you along the way.
Yeah, perfect. So what else is going on? I know there's some really good things coming down for veterans. So tell us a little bit about, what some other things are going on for the veterans.
Well, thank you. We'll keep along with the suicide thing. The state has been recently awarded $750,000 to try to stem the tide around the suicide and ideations associated with that. And so what we've done, we know that when you look at that number, 20 veterans, we see it on the news, 20 veteran suicides. One veteran suicide is one suicide too many. And so what we're trying to do is to identify, that 20 number. So if you look at that number, 20, 14 of the 20 are not enrolled in the VA healthcare system. So if you call it, when you engage with our veterans, ask them, are you enrolled in the VA healthcare system? Because knowing that, if you say yes, knowing that they're getting the best care on the planet, one of the best facilities in a nation, in Providence. And it's so critically important to identify resources to where we can engage our veterans where they are. And so a lot of this funding too is going to be set up plans to where we can engage and develop a strategy to engage our veterans, to reach out to them where they are, and to allow a pathway to get them access to care.
Yeah. So you were talking about another grant program at the beginning when we were just chatting, the two of us. Tell everybody a little bit about that.
Which grant were you referring to again? Refresh my memory about the grant.
The other program that you were talking about that is coming down for veterans that just got passed.
Oh, okay. The PAC Act. Oh yeah.
The PAC Act. That's it.
Yes, ma'am. So the PAC Act, this was dealing around burn pits exposure. And so we know that the toll has taken on our veterans. So through the work of our General Assembly, through the work of our congressional delegation, Senator Reed, Senator Whitehouse, Congressman Landry, Congressman Cicilline have been phenomenal, again, leading the charge on this in terms of identifying resources to address these issues with our veterans. And burn pit exposure and effects associated with that is got to be, without a shadow of a doubt, with no peer competitor, the equivalent to Agent Orange, what Agent Orange was to our Vietnam veterans. Again, to our Vietnam veterans, welcome home. When you're part of that mission too as well, you were also included in the PAC Act discussion as well. I recently attended at our federal VA last night with a town hall event. It was literally standing room only. Our leadership team briefing our veterans on how the PAC Act works, how do we connect. We had folks that were there that were ready, staff members ready to enroll veterans right on the spot. And it just is just how intrusive we have to be if we're going to address these issues. And so the PAC Act is a right step amongst many. We still got a long way to go, but it is the right step to get our veterans access to care that they need based on their exposure to burn pits. Again, this also includes our Vietnam veterans, as well as our First Gulf War veterans as well.
And tell everybody a little bit of how they can enroll in that program. If you can, give us an overview of how that works.
So absolutely. So we have a plethora of ways. My office, we have called Veteran Service Officers. I have two in my office. The veteran service organizations like the VFW and American Legions, Women Across the Nation, they also have DAV, Disabled American Veterans, VVA, Vietnam Veterans. Those organizations also have veteran service officers. So any one of them can assist you with filing a VA claim. We also have our federal VA partners, Director E.J. McQuaid, as his office is in Westminster. He also has office space in the basement of the VA hospital as well. So you can assist veterans with getting enrolled through that capacity also. You can also do it on your own, but we highly recommend you sitting down with a counselor to walk you through the process. We have staff members, that's their job, is to assist you in your life's journey. And so I ask all our veterans to sit down and talk with a counselor, and we'll guide you through the process.
And give everybody how they can get in contact with you, whether it's your website or your email, or what is the best way for them to contact you or your office to get the services that they need?
We have a multi-pronged approach strategy in order to reach out to me. I'm a firm believer in communication, open lines, multiple ways to get access to me. We know we love walk-ins. We've been open. Our business has always been open. We were one of the first agencies to reopen at the onset of COVID-19. And so our office is centrally located, 560 Jefferson Boulevard. Walk-ins are absolutely welcome from 8:30 to 4:30. Please come in and join us. We have a fresh pot of coffee all the way to brewing. We also have a decaf for the decaf lovers out there, and we also have tea and fresh water as well. And so, plus we got the Christmas trees decorated. We got the holiday. We're in full holiday spirit at our headquarters there in Warwick. So please stop in. Our number 401-921-2119. Follow the voice prompts. Again, 921-2119. Our one of the best websites on the planet, vets.ri.gov, vets.ri.gov. As you anytime, it's a repository of all the information from our nonprofits, our colleagues in state government, our colleges across the state, all of our various service providers across the state, interceding on the veterans' behalf. It is really a one-stop shop for all our veterans to gain access to get some information. If you need assistance, if you scroll down the bottom of the page, you click the link, the contact us link. Within seconds, once you hit the submit, I get that email. Key staff members on my team, they get that email within 24, 48 hours. Someone's going to get back in touch with you if you go through our portal on our website. Again, multi-pronged approach attack, but it's so critically important to deliver services to our veterans.
Yeah. Oh, getting services. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here now. We're going to talk numbers. What is the percentage of Rhode Island that are either veterans or veteran families? Do you know that number?
So we have per our federal VA numbers, we have over 65,000 veterans. So you multiply that exponentially by the number of family members that you have in that regard. So anytime I talk about veterans, I also include and military families, because like General Callahan says, if the service member serves, the family members serve right alongside with them. And so in addition to me providing services for our veterans, I also got to provide similar services and counseling to advise them, their family members as well. We know that 80% of our veteran population are over age 55. We're getting more calls from the children, the siblings of mom and dad that serve, getting access to as they transition to and need some assistance with that as well. And so my client is also serving them also.
And that's absolutely okay for a family member to call. We can guide you, or Kazim's office could guide you into where you need to be and what you need to do. So don't feel that you need them present when you're making that phone call. If you're looking to get them help or services in any way, shape, or form, reach out, because there is no dumb question. If you have the question, 1,000 other people have the question. So reach out. But that's a huge pot of Rhode Islanders, of our service people and families that are serving. So I'm sure that you are related to or know of a veteran or a veteran family here in Rhode Island. So there's so many things that you can do to get involved and to help out. And it's so important that you do it. Give us a little bit of your feedback on that, Kazim, because I know you have a lot of thoughts on that.
I think that our size as a state is our strength. And so, we talk about 6 degrees separation, the movie, like more like 2.5 on a bad day. But it talks to our ability to work together, to get the right people in the room to resolve certain issues. Our size truly is our strength. Yes, do have to drive all the way somewhere, even though it's just only a 20-minute drive, wink, wink, but that's okay. We make a reference point to an old place that's no longer there. But again, this is who we are as Rhode Island. And you have to embrace that in order to serve the people that you need to serve, in order to provide services for them, in order to guide them through those processes. You have to embrace who we are to understand our demographic. And yes, this just yet again why I chose Warwick as a location for our headquarters, to take those things in consideration. as well, to mindful of those, and all to establish programs that we can try to engage our veterans where they are. The senior centers, leveraging colleagues like OHA, Office of Healthy Aging, which Director Sameen and her group, as you know, is a phenomenal organization. They always care. We look to partner with, have those strategic partners. Two, and it's because we know our veterans are utilizing those services like the senior centers or the adult care centers, those facilities. We know that they're utilizing those services. And so also I need to have a relationship with them and to go provide resource fairs at those things in partnership with our congressional delegation. We participate in the resource fairs at the senior centers because it really is about community engagement.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you know this number, so I'm gonna throw. But with the hot topic right now of those experiencing homelessness, do we know how many in the state of veterans are experiencing homelessness, and how
Right.
can we help them?
So there, that's a number that we're tracking on historically. We're looking at roughly maybe 400 veterans on average, and these are numbers that our organization like Operations Stand Out that they are seeing on a yearly basis. So we know that numbers tends to teeters around 400. And so what we're doing in partnership with our federal VA partners to identify resources to get our veterans assistance, but we also too, by doing our due diligence, that housing is one component of this, but we also too, we got to have those wraparound services as well to address their healthcare needs, the mental health needs, the employment needs, the educational needs and concerns, and also too the concerns for their families as well, and to provide resources, mental health resources, partnering with organizations like the Vet Center, utilizing our colleagues state government like the BH Link to use those as a reference, as a resource as well. United Way 211, another great organization that we have at our disposal in our state. And now we have a collaborative network called Unite Rhode Island, who puts all of our community providers in the same network, and we make those referrals through two coordination centers. We have United Way 211 program as a coordination center, and we have my office as the second coordination center for our veterans and military families.
Yeah, and you forgot one of the best ones, that you work with RAMP as well for those who are physically disabled and stuff like that. We work with a ton of veterans on a daily basis, making sure that they have the wheelchairs, the walkers, the canes, and the services that they have for disability, because we know a lot of our veterans came back disabled, and we want to make sure that we support them there as well.
Oh, absolutely. I can tell you that one of the best events, I had the pleasure of attending this earlier this year, the event that you hosted up in Providence, and it was truly a phenomenal event. It shows that we all have some form of a disability, but to embrace that difference, and to show that it's not a death sentence. It is a life enhancing moment, because we're all in this together, and just to showcase those skills at that event. So Tina, thank you for all that you do, because that was truly very impactful, very enlightening. And you also get all the credit as well for what you're doing, because you continue to intercede on behalf of others and be their advocate, and that's inspiration. That should be an inspiration to us all.
I mean, it was eye-opening to me when I came on Veterans Day, when all the veterans were outside gathering together. I mean, usually I'll see them inside the home where they're all, separated, but to see them all under that tent, and the majority of them in wheelchairs. We need to get some Tina's tables up there at the veterans home, so they have this nice, beautiful table to sit at. So that's one of my goals for RAMP, is to get somehow donated tables up there at the veterans home, so these veterans can enjoy these tables gathering together with their friends and family. So that's one of my key goals, to get those up there to them. But it's just so important. I mean, we just donated, I think, another 70 something walkers, wheelchairs, and canes to those experiencing homelessness on the street. And a lot of those were veterans, having their veteran jackets and stuff that they still hold near and dear to them out on the street. So we need to reach out. We need to not just walk by. We need to stop. We need to talk. We need to ask them if they have their forms. We need to ask them if they're enrolled in the healthcare system. And if they're not a veteran, don't just ignore them. We need to help them as well. But there's so many services out there for others, but there's so many services for veterans out there. And, partnering with your office is such a way that we can get the help and services that they need.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It takes a little bit, a little act of kindness goes a long way in this business. And it's just all about civic duty to have that compassion because we're all human beings. And especially this time of year with the holiday season, because we know that loved ones aren't able to attend, to visit, to get together again, be it health related, or be it the job or what have you, or the perils of just life in general. And so again, we need to do a better job at caring for each other.
I'll tell you, if you got an hour or two, take a ride up to the veterans home, take a ride to any nursing home or group home, and just go visit somebody and ask the desk who doesn't have somebody that comes and visits them. That's what I do. I visit over 30 something homes and services around the state, and I visit those residents that their family aren't either in the state, aren't around, or aren't able to go and visit them. Talk with them for 10-15 minutes. You will change their lives for that 10-15 minutes. They will look forward to having somebody come back and talk to them. It will fill your heart knowing you are doing such a kind service, and it costs you nothing to show up and to talk to somebody. I'll tell you, my favorite place to go is the veterans home because I get to hear the best stories. When they get to talk about one of their days in combat or one of their days, of coming home to their families after coming home from service or something. Those stories truly live on with you, and I'll never forget them. It's one of my favorite things to do. I go up and visit at least once a week because I enjoy it so much to hear their stories and watch their faces light up to be able to talk to somebody who's not a veteran. That's the other thing is they get to tell their stories to somebody who's not experienced what they experienced, so they get to share it for the first time. I know you've experienced that.
Oh, absolutely. But again, this is why Reach Across America is so critically important that talks about to that point. Our funeral, it starts on Monday with our Funeral Directors Association. Again, special thank you for them. They have a prestigious ceremony at the State House, but more importantly, Ponagansett High School and Gulf Middle School. Our youth are so amazing, and to engage at that level and to see those stories that they put together. At Gulf today, we honored 2 World War II veterans, one of which was from the Veterans Home. And it is talked about, having that engagement. It's because it should start at the grassroots level, to the teaching our children the service before self, sacrifice, our service member leading this nation, true America's heroes, and to participate in those events, Reach Across America in our schools. It's so humbling and it's so special. And I hope next year, if you couldn't attend this year, folks that couldn't, please next year at the same time every year, this week, second full week in December. And it is truly, truly amazing to see our children and stay engaged in this capacity.
Oh, it is such a pleasure to talk to you. What have I forgotten? What have we missed that we need to highlight and let people know about?
Well, this year, July 1st, as of July 1st, there are 5 states that still tax military pensions. And Rhode Island is no longer one of them. Through the work of the governor's office and our General Assembly, they changed the trajectory and increased that momentum. So as we turn the page, we close the books on 2022, looking forward to 2003. Our goal is my office, we work with the governor's office and the General Assembly, is to continue that momentum, to listen to our veterans, to provide resources, to identify where some seams are at, to fill those gaps, to work together, to intercede on their behalf, to communicate effectively, more effective with our federal VA partners, to have an active presence, to have a voice in all 39 cities and towns. That's so critically important to our mission and to stay engaged. So like I said, as we turn the page on 2022, my job is to stay engaged and to utilize those resources and to see our veterans and military families and talk to our local, state, federal leadership to do that.
Oh, I am so excited. Give us your contact information again. Give us the website and the phone number, just in case anybody missed it.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Our website, vets.ri.gov. Our phone number, 401-921-2119. 921-2119. Almost slipped to give you my personal cell number, but that's okay as well. So my direct line, 921-0411. So that's my direct line as well. So 921-0411. That's my direct line to my office. And so feel free to reach out to me anytime you want, and we'll connect you with services, important role with all of our community partners as well.
And it's such a pleasure. And thank you so much for everything that you do for the state of Rhode Island. And this is now why everybody else now knows why you are one of my favorite people in Rhode Island. Anytime you call, I will always be there above and beyond. Whatever you need, I am there for. You are just one of those people that, I will do anything for because you're absolutely amazing the way you take care of our veterans. So thank you so much for
Tina, you're not the
everything that
only,
you do.
you know, you say that, but you also got to look in the mirror and yourself in the mirror as well, because you are our number one, our key advocates for those living with disabilities. And I'm always there every step of the way. Anytime you need me, I never tell you no. I just got to work it out into the schedule and support your mission and all your followers as well. You are literally an inspiration to me as well. You're also one of my favorite people in the state of Rhode Island as well, because of what you do, what you continue to do, who you aspire to be, and more importantly, how you inspire others. And that's important, and that's special.
And this is just a true testament of people working together and truly admiring, what each other does is how things get done. It's working together, because I don't know it all about veterans, you don't know it all about disability, but us working together, we can solve it all for the person who needs it. And that's what it's all about. So thank you so much, Kazim, for taking a little bit of time out during this holiday season and talking to us. And I look forward to, I am going to do anything in my power to get there on Saturday. But if not, I'm there with you in spirit on Saturday. But I will see you at the Veterans Home, as I usually run into you while I'm down there. So I will definitely be running into you very soon. So happy holidays to you and yours if I don't see you. And thank you so much for being a part and doing everything that you do.
And I'm looking forward to our next picture together, because every time we meet, we always got to do our photo together. So I'm looking forward to the next opportunity.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to put them all together, and I'm going to put Tina and Kazim through the years and all of our pictures that we have together.
And that will be a bestseller, guaranteed.
See that? We should sell it and make money for veterans. We'll be all set. That's how we're going to get our tables up there.
We'll split. We'll do half of veterans and half those who dealing with disabilities. How's that?
Yeah, there you go. We will make sure we take care of that, and we are all good. So thank you so much. And like I said, hopefully I'll see you Saturday. If not, happy holidays, my dear friend.
God bless. Thank you all.
And I welcome everybody to join us next week when we will be talking to AARP, another great organization here in the state of Rhode Island that we work with on a daily basis. So I look forward to talking to AARP and their advocacy group, which I am part of that as well. So as I always say to all of you, happy holidays, have a great week. Support a veteran, make sure you're thanking them for their service, and don't just sit there. Make a difference, everybody. Have a great night.